little things add up after a while and help us, figure out what we're trying to do with the rest of our lives and trying to get accomplished. And if we don't stop and pay attention to those little successes, I mean, if you are starting a new exercise program, it's like, all right, well, hey, I've got this brand new exercise program and I'm doing fantabulous with it, but, I don't know what more I could be doing. Write it down. It's like, hey, I committed to this new exercise regime and I've done it 3 days in a row. Celebrate that. So it's not just the big accomplishments like, hey, I survived another year. It's also the little ones. Hey, I got up today and I did what I could. Because when you do that, focus on what you've accomplished, you stop focusing on your mistakes. Because if all you do is focus on the things that have gone wrong in your world, you're not going to have that joy and happiness that you would get by focusing on the things that you've accomplished and what you've gotten done. And yeah, if you do have some mistakes in your life, because we all do, by golly, we all do.
Frequency Radio.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between, because life is an adventure. If y'all are on YouTube, I restarted things, so hopefully it really did restart. So we shall see. I understand Brent Thomas was having some tech issues as well with the YouTube, and solar flares, the Schumann resonance has been kind of off the charts lately. I will get into that on a different show, just not today. But yeah, it's that's a thing when the energy is all over the place. It affects the world we live in, and yeah, kind of all over the place. It's spiking just a bit. So, yeah, the struggle can be an adventure. Anyways, we were talking about letting go of past mistakes. Yes, do it. Don't let the mistakes, rule your world.
Would you burn down a monastery?
I did not burn down a monastery, Mr. Brent or Don.
Why'd you do that?
So that your camera could point at you instead of...
You need the good camera.
I like this one. This one's fine.
Whatever.
Yep. Yep. Don's in the house.
And that's why he shouldn't have used that one.
Hey, well, you're just a drunken sailor anyway, right?
I wish I was.
I don't know what to tell you. Boop. Hey, you're on the camera.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about recharging.
Recharging. What's
Yes.
that?
Something that my phone doesn't do very often.
You mean like phones, electronics, or like
People.
spiritually?
Just, people. How do you recharge? How do you feel better?
How do I feel better?
Yeah, how do you feel better?
Sake.
Yeah, that happens. It's kind of my list I'm going off here. The next one is do something fun. That could be sake, swimming, skiing, hiking, driving a car,
Searching for squatch.
Sasquatching, yep. Yeah, whatever it is that is something fun. Playing a game with your kids and your family. That could be fun.
Apparently,
That could be stressful too,
somebody heard me ask you if you were burning down a monastery.
Yep, no monastery.
I've got a headache. It's got a lot of... Wow. Anyhow.
Anyways, take breaks from things and people that bring you down.
See, that's like, called clearing your life.
Mm. Yes, it could be clearing your life. Yeah, if you feel that you are down a lot, stop and take a look at what
the
chocolate. Yes, chocolate. Helps.
The scene just went like this. Like, oh.
So Don's apparently had some sake and he's tilting slightly.
I wish. Oh, so recharging, yes. Yeah, flush those bad.
Yeah, if you're feeling depressed a lot, look at the people you spend the most time with. Because basically you are the sum of the 10 people you spend the most time with. Whether it's friends, family, loved ones, coworkers, strangers on the bus, I don't know.
Do you know that one of the 10 people that I associate with most lives in Australia?
If that's... sure? But yeah, the 10 people that you're around the most are going to influence you the most. Yes, Chris, I agree with that. Chris says if the camera starts spinning around, it might be time to get an exorcist. Instead of burning the white sage incense cone, I'll just bust out the sage and we'll disenchant the camera.
Disenchanted. It's already disenchanted. Can't you tell? It's slightly askew.
But family can be toxic. Friends can be toxic. And if you are constantly downed and drained from spending time with them, reevaluate that. Are those the people that you need to be spending time with, or is it time to maybe not invite your whole family over for a barbecue when they drive you just...
How did we get 35 people in our house at one time?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I do remember going out on the front porch and drinking wine at one point.
I think we only got one TV broke and somebody went to the hospital.
Mm-hmm. That's because the TV broke on his foot. Yeah. Yeah. This is back before TVs were light. So it was an old TV.
It was a one of the thick flat screens.
Yeah, thick flat screen. It was what? Was it a 48-inch TV?
Yeah, something like that.
It was huge. It was heavy. Basically, you need two people to pick it up. It was that heavy. And
so yeah, but you don't need that kind of. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
You look like the dog when she hears something on the speaker. The new boxer. I was streaming music to the speaker. Yeah, a squirrel moment, right? And she didn't know where the noise was coming from, so she's doing the whole confused, cock my head this way. Nope, I'm going to look this way. Nope, doesn't make any more sense. It was hilarious. So, gotta love the new dog. So, yeah, take a break from things that are people that are bringing you down. And, if it is your job bringing you down.
Oh, God.
It may be time to reevaluate your career. And I can say this. I've done this myself. First of the year before lockdown, I was in a career-oriented path in a corporation, and working 40-ish hours a week. 1 hour drive to get back and forth to work. Benefits were fantabulous. All of that stuff. And you know what? It was rewarding for a little bit, but then it just is like, why am I here? This is a drag. I'm not really helping the people that need helping. Ugh. So now what? And then we had the shutdown, and I got to be home for a couple of months. And you know what? I got a chance to kind of reevaluate my priorities a bit, and now I work part-time. Oddly, I'm making about the same kind of money, though, part-time.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and I feel better, spend more time with the family, less time on the road, so less potential for random moosing with the car.
Random moosing.
Because, yeah, you don't hit a moose, they hit you.
No, you don't hit a moose.
They just knock you off the road.
They don't hit you either. You just happen to be in their way.
Right, yeah, so. Yeah.
Reminds me of rule number 1, when you hit an animal with your car, the animal struck you.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not like he's going to tattle on you and say,
Right.
no, he hit me. He was doing 90 miles an hour. And he hit me. Blame the moose.
Yeah, so yeah. Just, what is it that's bringing you down? What's causing that negativity in your world, causing you some depression, anxiety, excess stress, stress too. But, yeah, what is it? And have that real solid discussion with yourself. If they're, do the pros and cons sheet, the pro versus con. And if the cons outweigh the pros, you got to stop and think about what can you do differently that will make you feel better, and then do it. Spend time with close friends and family. There's not the toxic ones, the ones that make you happy.
Right.
Because honestly, your close friends are the family that you've chosen. In my opinion,
we build our family as we go. We're born into one, and we may move away from them. We may not. And then we build our own family of people who are like us through our life. And, you don't always cut all the ties with your family, I guess. But, because you've grown from them, you still talk with them, but you're not dependent on them anymore for your well-being or whatnot. So you build your new family. So it's time to move on. It's time to grow from that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really, if there's something that you want to accomplish in your life that you haven't been able to because you're just not growing in life, is it the people that are dragging you down, or is it your choices, or what is it that you're, and if you have close friends that are, trying to push you towards success, maybe you need to spend just some more time with them, because don't let people stop you from succeeding. And if they want to push you towards it, do it. Meditation or prayer, whatever it is that's floating your boat. Meditation helps you clear your brain. Some people feel good with prayer. Whatever it is that's going to relieve that stress, do it. That means if you are Christian or Catholic specifically, and going to confession helps you, get rid of some of that stress, do it. The only one stopping you is you. I mean, go. Try not to multitask too much. Because often, even though we get really good at multitasking and doing all these things all at the same time, are we really focused on getting any one of those particular things done?
Well, and how
with
much
a level of quality?
And how much stress is that causing you because you've taken on possibly too much? Yeah.
So, instead of write down a list of the things that you want to get done, and just apparently we need more sake. And check things off. I personally love sticky notes. I'll write down everything I need to do on a sticky note, And as I get something done, I can crumple it up and throw it away because, like, woohoo, got that thing done.
Or burn it and release it.
That too.
Eclectic Clarity says, for my mom, prayer helps. For me, I think it's shadow work.
Getting in touch with your shadow self is a big deal. And yeah, if you can just, get more in touch with your shadow self and ground your shadow self more, it won't drag you down. And yeah, multitasking is exhausting. Can I do it? Yes. Have I done it? Yes. I have had 3 monitors going at one time with 2 windows open on each, monitoring 15 people in addition to sales and some other stuff, and people walking by and asking questions and doing reports. And did I get it all done? Yeah. Was the quality there? Not always, no. And I mean, yeah, you might be able to do it a couple times. You might look great, but at the same time, are you really getting everything done that you need to get done to the level of quality that you want?
And once again, how draining is it? How does that just drain your batteries, and how do you recharge from it? You got to find that outlet.
Take a break from your technology. As I'm sitting here in front of 2 monitors and a couple cameras. And
yeah, but we're connecting with lives.
Exactly, but don't be afraid to set your cell phone down and walk away.
Yes.
You schedule some time off. If you're having a meal, you can walk away from your phone. I know some people go out to eat with friends. They'll put their phones in the middle of the table, and the first one to pick up their phone is the one who pays the bill. I mean, that's depending on where you're eating and what you're drinking. That could be a really big incentive. What's your budget? So, yeah, just what is it? Just, you don't have to be on social media all the time. Honestly, you may want to take a picture of your dinner and show it to the world, but do you have to? Do something artistic. Holy cow. Do craft, finger paint, draw.
Mary Bond. Mary Bond says, what if you choose certain people as way to learn from it, and however hard you try to get away, it always takes you back to finish the lesson, whether it's for you to be whether it's for you to be a teacher. Okay, so that's karma. That's literally what karma is. It's what we're here to do. And you could also, I guess, call it a soul contract in that case. That you're having an issue with a person, but you don't quite know why you know this person, or it just doesn't make sense why you know this person any longer. And it's causing you issue, however that comes out, whether it be ill will towards the person or irritation, whatever. And you try to leave, but it brings you back. Well, either there's something you're supposed to teach them, or they're supposed to teach you. Is fulfilled, or that intent, or that contract, that soul contract is fulfilled, you're gonna keep going back.
Right. So if you find yourself being surrounded by slightly crazy people, or narcissistic people, or or something, stop and think about, why do you keep stumbling into these same types of people all the time? What is there something about you that's drawing them in, or is it something about them that's drawing you to them? Moth to the flame, what's going on? So, stop and think about it. Journal it. Hey,
Right.
Why is this happening?
Right.
And your feelings about it. And sometimes that's what you need to do.
Yeah, it's figure out why it is that you keep going back, whether it to be to learn, to teach, to just experience, and figure out if you're still supposed to be there, and if you can fully cut that cord.
Yes.
That's why you journal.
Yep, journaling. So yeah, artsy, do something artistic. Even a coloring book. So there's all sorts of adult coloring books. Dollar store has all sorts of coloring books. Oh my stars. Color a bit, doodle. I doodle all the time. Whatever it is, something to help you stress out. The next one on my list is journal. Write it down. Express your feelings, because often we may not feel comfortable expressing how we really feel about a situation to the person that we might feel a situation about. Maybe it's your boss and you want to keep your job. Maybe it's a coworker and you still want to keep your job.
Or at least not go to jail.
Maybe it was a customer and you want to keep your job. So maybe it's your ex and yeah, you don't want to go to jail. Whatever it is that you need to get out, or maybe it's your kids. I mean, gosh darn.
Yeah.
Talk about some ungrateful little buggers sometimes.
It's a respite care.
There's nothing quite like surviving teenagehood with your children. They say some things and they do some things. And whether or not they're really trying to be hurtful, it hurts as a parent. And you can't really tell them, say, hey, listen, you're being a jerk and you hurt my feelings.
Why can't you?
Because sometimes they're not ready to hear that lesson yet. Just because you are ready to express it doesn't mean they're ready to hear it.
Sometimes that's the best time to hear it.
Well, I know that Mini-Me has said a few things every so often that I'm like, whoa, that was not the right thing to say. And I'll say it to her. But before she got to this point, it was like, I'm just going to go over here and cry in the corner because that made me feel like crap.
Sometimes they have to hear it a few times before it actually registers. And it's not necessarily that, I don't think it's not necessarily that they're not ready to hear it. They just don't know how to hear it. And sometimes you got to say it a few times before they go, oh, that's what you mean. So.
Yeah. And, yeah. So, but instead of telling your teenage children that they are obnoxious little violations of your space and you wish they could just run away and join the circus for a week, because it's not necessarily the right thing to say. But you can write it out sometimes. Like, you know what? I just wish I could, have some personal time.
Right.
Yeah. Because, yeah, it's real. There's I just trying to think. Yeah, write a journal.
Elaine says.
So many things.
Elaine says, I tell them there's a special place in hell for them. They get the hint. Lucky's going night-night.
Night-night, Lucky. You're working too hard. That's what the dealio is.
Well, she just said her and her whole crew is just wiped out.
Well, she's just working at a super stressful job, and it's a temporary short-term gig, and that just blows. And granted, she's getting the job done, so thank you. But it's a good thing that some of that stuff is temporary and short-term, so... So yeah, and yeah, Marie says, and Dee both, yep. There's some people who just don't want to hear the truth. Yep. The Sharon Karens of the world. You can't commit Harry Carey there, but the Sharon Karen, yeah, they'll drive you nuts.
Can you commit Harry Karen?
I don't want to. Maybe. Maybe. So, yeah, that just, maybe. So yeah, journal it. Write it down because you're venting in a safe space.
Yes.
And you know what? If you know someone in your family who's journaling, don't be the jerk and read their journal.
No, it's none of your business.
That's their personal stuff. It's, it's the way that they're a way of communicating with themselves. And often, yeah, that's a good way to start your shadow work. And figure out who it is or what it is that you need to connect with, within your shadow self. Because, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Carlton, you did show up. So, yes, not lucky. But, so why do we feel drained sometimes? Well, maybe we haven't gotten enough physical activity. I know that was part of my problem when I was working in the office job. I was driving a desk. I would sit there for 8 hours a day, which is not good for anybody's health. Not enough physical activity, and your brain might be exhausted, but your body's saying, hey, let's go for a walk. And your brain's saying, shut up. So instead you don't sleep very good, and then you're half awake, for the next day. And it's just, Not enough physical activity is not very restful. On the flip side, though, too much physical activity is bad for you too. So think about it. Have you ever moved? So if you pack up your whole house and you load it into your truck and you're getting ready to move and you get to the new place, you unload your whole truck, how well do you sleep that next night? Some of you will sleep crash and they're like, I'm done. I'm going to sleep on the floor right here. I got
Don't you know you're supposed to pack the bedrooms last so the bedroom can come out and you have a bed to sleep? You pack the bed last.
I don't know.
Or at least the mattresses.
At least the mattress, right? So, but yeah, too much physical activity. You're not going to sleep as well because your body is just like, jet lag can affect you in a big way because it messes up your circadian rhythm. Too much technology actually can mess up your circadian rhythm. If you really need a reset, from what I understand, 24 hours of being awake without technology is a good way to reset your circadian rhythm. Or
yeah.
Can anybody do that anymore? I've got so much technology at work, and I work in a rock shop, guys. But go camping for the weekend and leave your phone somewhere. Ken, if you have to go and cut some firewood up, be careful, wear your extra gloves, and stay warm.
Yeah, well, beans is it's winter down there.
Yeah, I know, right?
He says winds here are like straight off the Antarctica. Well, it actually is.
Yeah. Yep. Insomnia, lack of sleep, yeah, that's going to wipe you out. Too many days of that, and it is bad. Bad. Let's see. Medications. Mm-hmm. Sometimes medications will mess up your sleep and just wipe you out. Maybe you're taking Benadryl. Benadryl reacts with different people differently. Some people it'll wind them up. Other people will calm them down. Same with cough medicines and such. So just be aware. What is it that you are putting into your body? Because it's going to affect your energy levels, without a doubt. Poor eating habits, same thing. Nacy just mentioned it, the slow suicide of the American diet. Yeah. You don't have to supersize it. Use a smaller plate. Be aware of what you're eating and try to eat a little healthier. Reduce your stress. I mean, I've mentioned it once or twice already, but seriously, yeah, reduce your stress. And if you feel like you can't, write down a list of the things causing you stress and a pro and cons list for each one of those things. And if your cons outweigh the pro on that specific stress point, it's time to stop. That's why we are homeschooling Mini-Me this year. The whole public school situation with the stuff, nobody knows what's going on. And that's a stress point for us.
I was just talking to a gal at work. I just keep bumping into her. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, I asked her, I said, so what are you doing with your kids this year? And she says, I got no choice. I got to put them in school. And then I was talking to our friend. I sent you a text about our friend that goes to the jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, I was talking.
Oh, is that what that was?
Huh? Yeah, the Jew whatever. The J-U-I.
Man, I have no idea what language you were speaking in that message.
Anyhow, but they're going to the same jiu-jitsu place. Cool. So, but anyhow, I was talking to them, and I asked what they're doing, and the mom said, I really don't know. And then the youngest came up and said, well, this is what I understand we're doing. And so it's just so crazy what they're trying to do and how they're trying to do it. And it's just... break time. Maybe I can fix my camera.
There you go. See you in a bit. Um, I don't think so. Maybe it'll kick in.
No, probably not.
Yeah, it actually would be a picture of your butt.
No, actually, it would be.
Hey, there's Don.
Oh, it did work.
It did work.
Huh. Surprise, surprise.
Hey, so, yeah. Yeah, crazy. Is it okay to put a leash on a CNI person, Carlton?
How do you license a CNI person?
Is there a special vest for that?
I don't know.
Ooh, is there a special mask?
Oh.
Are they muzzled?
Oh. Cannot speak in service. Wow, that's just, oh my.
Oh, my stars.
So much for safe space.
Okay, so on that note, since there was no bumper music, I'm going to do the singing bowl because I can.
Yeah.
Because I love my singing bowl.
Banging your bowl.
Can you name your CNI person, Karen?
Oh my. I'd rather it be Sharon at that point. Lewis is flirting with you again.
Thank you, Lois. I had an eye appointment, and I'm trying these.
Do CNI person's snacks, are those Scooby snacks?
Scooby snacks.
Yeah, no,
Only if they're chocolate.
Eye
appointment, and so I am sporting bifocal contact lenses because I'm getting old. Sharon is Karen. Oh, I see what you did there, Chris. That's awesome.
Oh my.
So okay.
Fetch.
Oh, I think I need a T-shirt. The official CNI person. Oh gosh, darn. Oh, if we didn't have a good time, I don't know what. What else would we do? What else would we do on a Friday night other than this?
Math.
No, that's generally on Saturday nights.
Well, still. By the way, have you reached out to that person yet?
I have, and there was no response.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Try again.
Yeah. I've got a couple folks I want to try to get on air. So if you guys just putting it out there, if any of you come across or know of someone who would like to speak about their specific path and from a knowledgeable point of view, like a priest or priestess, yeah, shoot me an email, wildpaisley@gmail.com, wildepaisley@gmail.com. Because sometimes, we do need to hear about different spiritual paths because, yeah.
There's not just one right way.
No, there really isn't. And we all eventually come to enlightenment from different ways. So, just be aware.
And never steal Tibetan mastiffs from a monastery.
Yeah, that's bad. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know.
So, anyways,
Oh, yeah, I did.
let's see. Yeah, other people have, the journey that each of us is on varies so much from person to person, existence to existence, because, we all have different situations, different backgrounds, different countries, climates, parts of the world. I mean, seriously, we're from all over. And we all come to spirituality from a slightly different perspective and place of experience. So, hearing about someone else's path, yeah, very, very interesting. And I love, finding out more because, by golly, what brought you to this point? I know what brought me here. Don and I have talked a little bit what's brought him to this point. He used to be a city folk, and he's been drawn kicking and screaming into the further and further into the country and rurally. And now we have 2 dogs, a cat, and 10 chickens. He had goats at one point. That was fun.
30 of them.
It was good. So, just what has brought you to this point, and what were you hoping to learn by this point? And man, what would you like to learn?
What did you expect to learn?
Mm-hmm.
And did your expectations prove out?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you like have to take a left in Albuquerque and end up in Timbuktu?
Tahiti?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tahiti sounds good.
Yeah, that'd be better than Timbuktu.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, "How you doing?" I usually tell them, "Well, if I was any better, I'd be in Tahiti. Actually, probably more of in Tahitian jail." People asked, "What'd he do?" "Oh, he had a really good time."
You were up to a lot of mischief when you were younger.
Yeah, well.
So, anyways, yeah,
Not as much as our friend who got arrested in Poland.
I know.
That guy.
Wow.
That guy kills me. I love him.
When the story starts, well, I wanted to have a beer. You never know where it's going to go.
Especially if you're in Poland.
Yeah.
I think he specifically said Warsaw.
Yeah.
So.
And you need to pay attention to your passport sometimes, and where the train is going,
and whether or not you missed the train and your passport's on the train.
Yeah. There's that too.
So anyhow, I'm sorry.
Anyway, no worries.
One way to decompress.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Travel.
The Orient Express. Yeah, how to decompress and why do you feel drained? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you feel drained because of stress. Trauma causes stress.
Trauma, yes.
So Chris and Geo,
mm-hmm.
Man, talk about some trauma. They rear-ended by a drunk driver a couple months ago.
Yeah, I heard about a car accident. Yeah.
And that kind of physical trauma from a car accident, it takes a while to heal. You got to figure out what's wrong.
Oh.
And how to heal it, how to get it better. Is it going to get better?
Right.
And then there's the PTSD, because I got to tell you, I have, I was in a pretty major car accident in 1995, and every so often I still have the sound of broken glass will just run through my brain in certain driving situations. Not such a good time. So a little PTSD there, and that happens, That's real. And sometimes, drug or alcohol use, that stuff has a negative effect on your body especially if you're abusing it. And it's going to make you just wiped out, drained.
I just read, it's funny you said that, especially when we're talking about this whole lockdown stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just read, I read the headline. I wasn't able to read it because I was at work, but the headline read 1 in 4 college kids or 1 in 4 teens have suicidal ideations because of the COVID lockdown.
The COVID lockdown has had a really negative effect on the mental health.
Yep.
Yeah. That is definitely stressful. It's very real. So Marie says, another question, if you choose to be born into a specific family to finish your quest but are given a choice of 3 families, does that mean in those other families there's a part of you that you will never know about, but it's there?
Well,
I think so.
I don't think so.
I do. Why don't you think so?
Because if you think about soul contracts,
Mm-hmm.
generally you have a soul contract that you have with the Great Spirit, however you look at that, whatever that is, the eternal energy or the Great Spirit, whatever you want to call it. And you have your soul contract or your karma to fulfill. And you choose to begin with in your soul contract where you go. Mm-hmm. So if you choose one of the 3 families, the other families I don't believe would be even privy to the thought that there might be somebody missing. Now, soul groups as well. Judge and Sindel from
Blooming
Lotus says that you can have a soul group, and you sign a contract, your soul contract or whatever that is, or you decide the lessons you want to learn. And when you're still with the Great Spirit, the eternal energy, whatever you want to call that, and then you come to Earth, you manifest that in the body, and sometimes your soul contract or what happens, your karma doesn't fulfill properly, and you lose contact with your soul group. So you become a member of a different soul group when your whatever your karma, your purpose, your niche, whatever that is, becomes either fulfilled or unfulfilled. And it's like meeting a new group of people, and it's like you don't know where you belong yet, things like that. But I don't think in this case the other two families would have, unless you're part of that soul group and you came with them. Then you might be missed in that soul group. But I think maybe, well, maybe, yeah, okay, I'm talking myself into this. Yes, I just decided, yes. I think it is possible that the other ones, because if you're missing from your soul group, they have an idea that something's missing in their life, and it might be that person that was supposed to be there, but you got pushed into you're not pushed in, but you joined a new soul group, and they know it. Yeah. So yeah, I agree now. Anyhow, why do you agree?
He talked himself into it. Because I think if, depending on where you're at on your journey, parts of you are not as necessary, or that part of you may have healed, or you may be done with it, and you can move on from there. Or it may be in this specific family, you don't need to, or that issue doesn't come up. So maybe it was a trauma of some sort that you need to deal with, but that situation didn't arise in this family, but it would have arisen in that family. So I think we'll just keep coming back until we get it all sorted out. But
right, you learn that lesson, or you don't learn that lesson. You keep coming back to learn that lesson. I was just talking to somebody at work about this today.
A lot of people. So right now, I think we all need a little bit of a recharge. We got a lot of the stress going on because of the stuff, and the way the stuff is being handled, regardless of who you are, where you're at. There's so many. If two people would agree on the way it should be handled and then followed through with it,
I think
the world would come collapse. To an end. Yeah,
the world would collapse.
Yeah. And that's causing stress. I mean, because that's why Mini-Me is going to, we're homeschooling. And other parents are like, well, I don't know what we're going to do. My sister is a teacher. She was chosen to be the online teacher for 3rd grade, the class that she teaches. And she had open house.
Are you talking about the youngest one or the, okay.
The youngest one. And so she had open house so she could show the families, this is where my classroom is. Basically, it's about the size of a bedroom, because she doesn't need a real classroom because everybody's attending online. And such. But every single parent showed up.
Oh, goodness.
She has never had 100% attendance from an open house for any of her kids ever, until suddenly the kids couldn't come to school and they all showed up. But some of the parents are like, well, Junior's going to be going to daycare all day and that's where he's going to learn. She's like, why don't you just send him to school where it's free and they'll be with the same age? What, you're weird. But people just don't get it. And there's stress. And just, we're all just making it up as we go along. And so that's why I wanted to talk about recharging. Not just... It was the mundane is what we talked about in the first half of the show, and here we are in the second half. And I want to talk a little bit more about the pagan and witchy side.
Okay.
Because, how do you recharge? Well, honestly, grounding, I think, would be the first way I would say to get it sort of grounded out. So, there's real basic grounding ritual. You just close your eyes, visualize your... sit comfortably, visualize your spine is connected to the earth, and you're sending that negative energy down into the earth, and then you're absorbing the good energy from the earth into your body, and then, they got the negative energy going up into the air through the top of your head, your third eye, whatever word you want to put to it, and going out into the universe. You're bringing in the positive energy from the universe, and let that energy recharge you. because, I mean, that's a really simplified way to do a grounding recharge, but it's real. Take your shoes off, get your feet in the dirt, and just stand in your yard yelling at the cable guy on your phone, barefooted.
I've done that. I was outside. I don't remember who I was talking to, but it was somebody like that. And it was the World Series, and I was watching the World Series, and they had the nerve to call in the middle of the game. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? 2 hours I yelled at that person while standing outside in bare feet in the grass. Didn't help, but it felt better.
Yeah. Drink good water. You drink plenty of water. B, good water. So we have a well. The water's pretty freaking awesome here in North Idaho. And I just have lemons in here. Lemons are good for your kidneys anyways and your liver. Detox. And, you know, that flushes out a lot. Drinking plenty of water flushes so much out of your system.
Now remember, and Carlton can back me up on this farm, you want to drink live water, not dead water. Dead water is like distilled. It's like water that's been sitting, water that's been disconnected with the earth and the system of evaporation. You know, it goes up to the clouds, it comes back alive, you know, that kind of thing. You know, so you want to drink live water, not dead water. You don't want to drink bottled water.
Exclusively,
yeah. I mean, if you do drink bottled water, I'd say drink spring waters, purified spring waters. But even purified spring waters are missing those necessary nutrients like sodium and potassium and the electrolytes that you need. So you need to have that good water.
So they do have water bottles where you can.
Right.
They have crystals and stones that will charge the water. Just be aware, not all stones should go into your water. Some things like bumblebee jasper will kill you. Good energy to it, but if you put it in your water and drink it, it'll kill you. So be aware. Do your research before you dissolve your stones into your water. But stuff like that is very good when it comes to, you know, getting that energy into your water.
Right.
Or I use a lot of frozen fruit in my water just because I like the flavor.
That's not a bad idea because the fruit has the H3. Is it H320 or H3O2? H3O3? Okay. Yeah, that's right, because it's one molecule from H2O2.
Yeah. So, yeah, H3O3.
I still haven't gotten my answer on if I just drink H2O2, is it easier on the system to convert?
Deep cleansing breath. So, yeah.
How do you recharge?
With the power cord. So
that's what Nace says. He says I find an outlet and plug in my chair.
You know, that's not all bad. Solar power. But no, I use a lot of frozen fruit. I drink a lot of water anyways, but you know, adding frozen fruit to your water, especially if you have a hard time drinking water anyways. Maybe you live in an area where the water is heavily treated, like in the Midwest, for instance, here in the U.S.
Dead water.
The water is quite muddy because they pull it out of rivers or ponds and that kind of thing. It's the water's not very clean. Anyway, so they treat it heavily. And I remember my grandmother was, even before she passed, she lived in the Midwest. We go visit, and you take a shower, and holy cow, it smelled like I was in a swimming pool. That's how much. So
North Dakota's like that too.
And I was like, you can only drink so much chlorinated water before you're like, you know what, this is just icky. And you wonder why so many people in the Midwest get Hodgkin's lymphoma. Anyway, so you just put frozen fruit in the water, and hey, it tastes better. But something like that, if you put water in a pitcher and you leave it out overnight, the chlorine will evaporate.
But the fluoride won't.
Right, chlorine will evaporate, fluoride won't. So yeah, just
Mary Bond says she buys 5 liters of bottled water for a week. 5 liters is not a whole lot of water, dear.
I drink. So this is a liter.
I drink
2 of these a day.
I drink a lot of water. 5
So-
liters would last me maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's not counting the coffee I drink, or the tea,
That's not water.
or juice.
That's not water.
It's bean water. It's good for you. Coffee water.
It's not water.
Yeah. So yeah, you just be aware. You know what you're putting into your system. Water's good for you. If you're drinking good water, it will cleanse your. It'll flush stuff out.
Eclectic Clarity. There are minerals that you can buy specifically to recharge your electrolytes in your water.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, when you get like bottled water from a company, like you go to work and you got the water cooler, and that water cooler has that jug on top. What they do is they take that water, they distill it, they treat it, distill it, and then you get the distilled water. And what they do is they actually add the electrolytes and nutrients back into the water. That's why it tastes funny. You can get electrolytes that you can put in your water. I believe there's an additive called, well, I think it's Mio, and you just squirt some in your water and it adds electrolytes and flavor, but it also adds bad stuff for you, like sweeteners and things like that. So, yeah, and you can just buy the electrolytes to put in your water. So,
Or
yes.
you can figure it out. Like I had some lemons that I quartered and ran through the
Lemons, cucumber.
I ran through the food processor after I froze them, so I had lemon powder and then mixed a little bit of pink Himalayan salt.
Yeah, Farm just said salt.
And and some other things. So it's just kind of a blend. This is my own personal blend of and sometimes, your body, if you're craving something, your body is saying, "Hey, hello, we need something." Yes, I need broccoli or Brussels
I buy
sprouts.
10 bottles of 5 liters each. Got it. Okay, yes, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So if you're craving something, your body's saying, "Hey,
Right.
we need something." So, and listen, speaking of water, you need a recharge. Sometimes you just need to get in the water, whether it's a lake, a river, a stream,
Sulfur
your
baths.
shower,
Sulfur hot springs.
hot springs.
That's the way to go.
We have a hot spring, an hour and a half from here?
Oh, yeah, we got to go.
Yes, I would love to go anytime. Marie, sometimes mushrooms, there's a lot of medicinal qualities to mushrooms. Just be aware which ones you're eating.
Get the good ones.
So, just, be aware what you got coming in or going into your system. But yeah, the water, is sometimes, you just got to get in the water. We went to the lake the other day. Man.
Gosh, I haven't even seen the lake this year.
I'm telling you, we should go tomorrow.
I can't. Oh, I can
yes,
now.
You can. Bring the sake.
Yeah, I can now.
So,
Gonna be wiped out though.
it's all right. I'm not doing anything Sunday. We'll just give Mini Me her tablet. So, yeah, Elaine, if you're craving milk, you may be missing out on some other nutrients that are in milk. Because if you don't like it and you're craving it, maybe what else is there that's generally in there that you might need? So, hiking, getting out into the woods, getting out into nature, walking just amongst the trees. I've been East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, Upper Plains, Southern Plains, any of that.
Where in the West Coast have you been?
I went to
For more
Whidbey.
than 2 hours.
Okay, well, I'm as far... No, actually, I was closer to the ocean when I went to the East Coast. I've been in upstate New York. I've been kind of all over the U.S.
Yeah, the Finger Lakes, yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't matter what tree you're getting around. Just trees are just grounding. Hug a tree. Seriously. I know it's kind of corny and a little bit environmentalist of me, but you know what? Yeah, get out, commune with your forest. Go to your local park or playground, just where the trees are, and have a picnic lunch under the trees. Leave your phone in the car.
I have an idea. For that dairy craving but doesn't drink milk.
Ice cream?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That always fixes me.
Put it over a banana and add some chocolate syrup.
Well, you got to
Or cookie.
You got to put it over a cookie with a banana over that with chocolate chips and then the chocolate syrup. And maybe a touch of cocoa powder.
Yeah, Clarity, if you are low on vitamin D, that's a big deal because if you don't have enough vitamin D in your system, you're not going to process calcium correctly. If you're not processing calcium correctly, your bones are not happy. And rickets are real and they hurt.
Mm.
So I've been there.
Yeah.
So
and
D3 is different from D2.
Vitamin D deficiency also leads to pain.
Big pain.
Syndromes. So.
Yes. So
K2. Yeah.
Potassium. Yes. So yeah, and so when you go to the doctor and you say, "Hey, I feel like crap." Ooh, guess what? We're gonna stop on that note because it's our last break of the night. Night's flying.
Lord, within the sun, as we will, so mote it be, the spell forever done. Sisters of the shining moon, heaven, earth, and sea, I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me. sing it unto me. The songs of Mother Goddess and the Father in the tree.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between because, hey, why not? It's a good place. You learn all sorts of things here. So, yeah, we're talking about recharging. So, you know what? Real basic for pagans, witches. Participate in a circle. You know, call the circle, communicate with your deities, and basically, you know, find that fellowship with your fellow practitioners. I mentioned to somebody today, you know, as a Christian, you can walk into any doggone town almost in the U.S., and there's going to be at least one church where you can walk in and find people with similar beliefs. And as a pagan, it's a little harder to say, hey, you know, are you a pagan? Do you want to get together and have a circle later? I mean, this sounds creepy. So just be aware. But yeah, you know, if you can do that, oh man, it's huge. It's huge. It's a great way to just, you know, hang out with people who believe similarly to you, and get in touch with them, and yeah, have that ritual. Sometimes, you know, go outside and just stare at the sky. For those of you who are able to go and look at the night sky, oh, that's a lovely thing. So, you know, I love looking at the night sky. Whether the moon is just rising and it's just a little bit thumbnail, new moon, full moon, three-quarter moon, doesn't matter. I love the night sky. Hopefully we will have some northern lights this winter. We'll see. So, you know, yeah, just love the energy of the night sky. But then I also love the energy of the daytime sky too. Not when it's really hot out, of course, but, you know, just being outside, you know, mow the yard, weed the flowers, go for a walk with the dogs, play frisbee with the daughter, you know, any of that. Yeah, just, you know, what is it that, you know, you need to do to connect and be refreshed. But yeah, you know, shows like mine or other pagan YouTube shows or chat rooms on social media, man, there's so many of them out there. Find one that you can really participate in and find that connection, because, oh yeah, Clarity, you need that connection. You really do. It's, there used to be a website that you could go to and you could really figure out, you know, how to find someone a little more local. Here in the Pacific Northwest, what is it? SpokanePagans.com is a great place to go. And it's kind of a regional thing for here, North Idaho and eastern Montana or eastern Washington. You know, and what's going on, and you know, different groups and get-togethers and such. On the 23rd, which is coming right up, Squirrely Productions is doing a Talking Pagan with Gwion Raven. So it's kitchen witchery. Gwion? Gwion. Gwion Raven. They're talking about kitchen witchery. So, let's see, aphrodisiacs. I guess she wrote a book, so it's magic food. So, and the Zoom conference. So, I will include information on the in the show notes to mention it. Yeah, because April 23rd at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's a Zoom conference. Talking Pagan is just a it's a local group thing, and yep, talking about kitchen witchery rituals and such. And sometimes, you know, right now, that's the only way we're going to get some circles done and some of that connection done is literally by, having those Zoom conferences or group chats or Facebook chats or whatever. Um, it's just, yeah,
Well, make sure to tweet or share the link or whatever.
yeah, share the link. So, like that one. Oh,
I don't know what
hey,
you're talking
there you
about.
go. Which link?
The link for the chat for the Zoom.
Oh, yeah. That one is right here. Hold on. I gotta. So, yes. So,
What was it called? Talking Pagan?
yep, Talking Pagan.
Okay.
I will be a guest on Talking Pagan in October.
In October. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Haven't quite decided what I'm going to talk about yet, but I need to figure it out.
Sewing.
Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of a given. Yeah, that's kind of a given. So, but yeah, it's I don't know. Yep, check out SpokanePagans.com if you are local, because yeah, there's a. It is hard to find local groups where you're at, where you can find that connection. I mean,
Or the fellowship.
yeah, the fellowship. Yeah, I meant August 23rd. Did I say April? If I said April, I'm sorry. August 23rd.
Oh, no, I thought you said August, but that's okay.
It's hard to say.
Excuse me while I eat.
It's just a salad. It's good for you.
Oh, it's a good salad.
It looks like a good salad. You got all sorts of stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what
A
else.
salad with no lettuce.
Oh, it's a cabbage and kale.
Kale? Are you trying to poison me?
Kale is good for you.
Settle down, Karen.
You should
My
eat some more
goodness.
beets too. But
Yeah, whatever.
yeah. Let's see what else. To get the recharge yourself. Yeah, go for a walk. Go for a hike. That physical activity. What is it you need to do for that physical? Chris, you're funny. To recharge. Sometimes, yeah, going for a hike. Like here locally in North Idaho, there's some really big mountains, and wow. You want to find a really great view to be awe-inspiring and just soak in the awesomeness of it. Yeah, we've got some good mountains for that. Got a great big beautiful lake too. So just yeah, I don't know that Don will try beet chips either.
Hell no!
Um,
There are just some vegetables man was not made to eat. Beets and radishes top that list.
Beets are very good for you though, and radish sprouts, nummy. Those would be fabulous on your salad. Let's see. Sometimes going for a drive could be a real recharge. Sometimes you're driving away from stuff, and I get it. But yeah, go for a drive. It'll just let the wind in your hair and let it go. Breathing exercises to recharge. Yeah, that's real. A megaphone man. Let's see. I don't actually have a breathing exercise other than in through the nose and out through the mouth. All one had one. It was go for a hike, and take walking or like ski poles or walking sticks with you, and in with one step and out with one step, and then in with one step and out with one step, and man, that focused breathing like that,
It's self-hypnotism.
is very 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 good. I know it sounds a little corny. Smile at yourself. Look in the mirror. Give yourself a smile. Take a picture of yourself smiling. Seriously, if you're smiling at yourself, really does reduce your tension. All one mentioned it too. Yep, it's real. And if you're smiling, like if you're on the phone or something like that, people hear it in your voice. And sometimes, man, that you may be the only person to smile to whomever you're speaking with the entire day. Think about how uplifting their day would be just because of that. So yeah, Smile. Um, let's see. Da, da, da. I don't know, what else? Don, what do you think would help?
Finding fellowship.
Yep. Well, yeah, we talked about that a few
Did
times.
you? Well, I wasn't here for that, but finding people to fellowship with. Yeah, whatever it may be. Even if it's just going down to the local card shop and playing a game of Magic, or just even the old folks' home. Play a game of cribbage with some of the old folks.
Ooh, cribbage. Yep. Pitch,
So,
pinochle.
Yeah, they love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be going out and having fellowship with other people. And if you do it that way, you're fellowshipping with older people that have different wisdom, and they will teach you things. My good gosh, they will teach you a lot, and
they will tell you some stories that'll make your straight hair curly.
And you know what? It'll make you feel better, even if they're sad stories, because you'll have that connection. It's the connection. So,
yeah, focused breathing. Excellent. You guys are in the chat room talking about it. Yes, very good. But yeah, a card game, even if it's solitaire, is good because it kind of focuses you a little bit. But yeah, a card game with someone else, that friendly competition. Although Mini-Me plays a mean game of Crazy Eights and Go Fish. Yeah, maybe she should buy the next lottery ticket. She's kind of a lucky kid. So, but yeah, focused breathing is really good, especially if you have like an asthma issue, because often we're not breathing in deep enough to fill our lungs, and then we're not exhaling enough to get rid of the carbon dioxide that's built up in our lungs. So, yeah. Focused breathing. Fasting can be a way to kind of recharge yourself. Not everybody can. Some people can. If you can, go for it. If it makes you feel better, go for it. I get hangry really quick, so I don't fast.
The faster I eat, the better.
Yeah, it's not the kind of fasting we're talking about, dear. But play a musical instrument, or go to a musical or concert of some sort. Not so much. Well, depending on where you're at. A jazz night. Man, just listen, go someplace, have a glass of wine, and listen to jazz night. Just, a 3-piece band. Just peaceful. Or acoustic guitar. Sometimes those street musicians really, yeah.
Really good 3-piece bands called Forced Entry.
What kind of music is that?
What do you think?
Well, okay. So,
that's why they're called Hessian aggression sessions. Mosh pits. Hessian aggression sessions.
Okay. Yeah, that not my kind of music. Yeah, go to a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang out at a coffee shop. Sometimes the elevator music is interesting there. Or people watch.
That's what I was going to say. Yep.
People watching, okay, dating myself, but going to the mall and people watching used to be extraordinarily fabulous. Or go to the park and people watch. Go to the airport and people watch, depending on where you're at. Because you know what? It's just watching the people go by. Or watching the water go by in the river. Listening to waves lap on the shore. Any of those things can be just a place to focus and just, again, let that negative energy just kind of fade out and soak in the good energy. Singing bowls. Love my singing bowl. There's singing bowl meditations you can listen to on YouTube. Those are good for you. My voice, sure, Jordan, if that helps. Whatever it is that, helps me. Watching the cars drive by, yep, that helps. Or the train go by.
Sorry.
Okay. So, find the things that are helping you recharge. And as you are, ASMR videos are good. As you're going through and trying to find what's helping you to recharge and find your focus, journal it, because some of them are going to be really good for you, and some of them will make you want to pull out your hair and shoot people. So be aware. Not everything is created equal, and not everybody's going to get the same recharge from the same things. Extroverts often get recharged in a crowd and boisterous places and loud noises and everything. Introverts generally like to avoid that stuff. So, and some people flip-flop, be ambiverts, kind of like me. I'm really an introvert, honest. Not that you can tell right now. But see, what is it, that helps you recharge? Go read a book. Go to the coffee shop, read a book. Go to the library. I don't know. I like going to the library though. So journal it. And I'm going to say journal it because yes, you won't know what it is that is going to help you the most until you've journaled it. And write down how much sleep you got after you did, this routine in the evening. And don't do it just one night. It's like, oh, that didn't work. Sometimes you have to do...
you have to get used to it.
You have to do a routine or something more than once to really...
21 days.
To get the real benefit out of it. So yeah, a habit, you need like 21 days, I think is what it is. And, it's... habit forming and if it's really getting the benefit, just like if you're stretching your neck, for instance, if you stretch your neck for a 10 count, you're not really stretching your neck. You have 10 count before the muscles even start to relax. So you need more like a 20 count. And that kind of, etc. So, the stretching, breathing exercises, yeah, those are fantastic. And I don't know, just, write it down. Find the good foods to eat. Drink the water. Don't overdo it on the coffee, which I'm guilty of this one. I love coffee. So, if I didn't have the coffee, I couldn't do the things. And I mean that in a really real way. And then, write it down. Your dreams will change as you do different things to reduce your stress and to help yourself recharge. And you will find that if you are doing these things repeatedly and they become part of your habit, wow, you will sleep better. And you may not get as many hours of sleep, but the quality of sleep will increase.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Now, Elaine, actually, it wasn't ice cream eating. It was a salad. It's much more healthy. Let's see. What else? What else helps you recharge, Mr. Don, besides weird music? And a nap. Naps?
Those are the only two things I crave right now. And mainly naps. I don't get enough sleep. That's just it. I don't get a chance to recharge. So that's just it right there.
Yeah. So are you getting enough sleep, Write down when you go to bed. And yes, Chris, a good rump is also a good recharge.
Not really.
Well, it depends on the rump. Romp, not rump. Romp, R-O-M-P. A good rump can be very recharging. Although the older you get, I don't know if that's real. I don't know.
Sorry, it's the jalapeno I ate. Oh, that's funny.
Let's see. Trying to think. If Carlton, you're funny. And if you are trying new foods to try to energize yourself or to be less heavy, journal it. Don't be afraid to have a food diary, because some things are going to trigger headaches and make you feel heavier, even though it shouldn't. too much salad actually gives me a headache.
Elaine says I'll sleep when I'm dead. Well, you'll be dead sooner the less you sleep. So
Yeah, they've done real studies where, if you don't get enough sleep, psychosis happens.
Oh yeah.
And it'll kill you. So, and then some people just don't sleep. They don't need as much sleep. So it makes you wonder where they are in their spiritual journey, their karmic cycle. Are they towards the end of it or at the beginning of it? And at the beginning of it, so they need less sleep because they're trying to fix things. I don't know. So, yeah. Find the rituals that you can do that'll help you recharge. And sometimes, it's, brushing your teeth and then lighting a candle to set your intention for the day.
Brushing your teeth and eating a candy bar.
And don't drink
Mint
the orange
chocolate.
juice. And don't drink the orange juice right after the toothbrushing because it doesn't taste very good. And read books. Read a book. And when I say read a book, I don't mean just something fictional that's fun and lighthearted, but read a book that's good for you.
Enlightening.
Because there's a lot of enlightening books out there, yes. Because you're feeding your brain and your soul and your energy, not just for entertainment purposes. It's like watching a documentary and instead of all the fake reality TV. So funny animal videos, sure, yeah. There have been times I managed a call center once upon a time, and after a really horrible call, occasionally I will sit and I will watch a stupid cat video or stupid pet video or whatever, just because the fluffy, cute critters, offset the frustration. They really do. On that note, if you have the opportunity, go volunteer at your local animal shelter if you don't have your own pets. Go pet a cat. Often the cats need cuddles or the dogs need cuddles. And it's not just walking the dogs or changing the kitty box. It's sometimes they just need socialization and hanging out with them. And
I love Elaine.
Flying rats behind.
She has perfect sarcasm.
She does. Learning how to type perfect sarcasm is an art. It really, really is. So, contagious laughter videos.
Especially when they're babies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the ones where you just rip a piece of paper and the baby starts giggling. Oh, my gosh, that's a better laugh track than anything I've heard in a long time. So, yeah, just, what is it that's going to help you recharge? And often, it's the little things. You don't have to do the big grand gestures, join a gym and start doing a workout routine, 5 times a week, because that's a huge commitment and not everybody's able to do it. What are you doing?
A little applause. Sorry.
Okay. But yeah, do the little things, because often you do enough little steps, they end up being a bigger deal than you would you initially thought it was going to be. So yeah, baby steps. Baby steps are better than the cha-cha. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else. I've got 2 minutes left, and I'm just eat the chocolate. And sometimes, so here, real thing. I spoke to a cardiologist once upon a time, and he told me it is better to indulge yourself once in a while than it is to fall off the wagon completely. So, yes, indulge yourself once in a while. It could be very recharging. Buy yourself the pretty, or the new candle, or the shirt, or belt, or shoes, or seeds, or tree, or plant, or singing bowl, or I don't know, whatever it is that makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. That self-care, if you will. Buy something that makes you smile. Do something that makes you smile. Go out for barbecue.
Go slap a Karen.
I don't recommend that because she'll hire Sharon to come commit Harry Sherry. So,
No, that would be what happens if you slap a Sharon. She'd she'd hire a Karen to commit Harry Karen.
yeah. So, anyways.
Oh,
So on that note, still don't know what I'm doing for tomorrow night because hey, I make it up as I go along. Stay tuned for Duke,
yes,
yeah, Duke
in TFR.
in TFR, and you know, do what you need to do to help make you feel better in the day. So on that note, merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. I hope you guys have a lovely evening. Say goodnight, Don.
Good night, Don.
You're so funny. It's past Don's not time.
It is. Good night.
Good night, all.
Lord, redeem the sun, as we will, so mote it be, the spell forever done.